going to show you guys how to do multicam editing in Premiere, which is pretty cool. Also, I'm going to show you something that not a lot of people show on tutorials, where if you have a slower computer that doesn't keep up with like multiple streams when you're playing back like 4 or 5 or 6 video streams at once, and you have like an older laptop, or you have an older computer that does not keep up with all those streams, or a hard drive that keeps up with it like a USB 2 drive. First of all, if you're going to be doing it full quality, you can make it full quality in the end, but if you're going to be making it, if you want to be editing full quality, then you're going to need a faster computer. You're going to need a newer computer that has a better video card. You're going to need one that has a faster processor and also faster hard drive speed, either like an internal, either editing off your internal hard drive, or a USB 3 hard drive, or a Thunderbolt hard drive, or something that can handle the throughput of all those streams all at once, all those data streams at once. USB 2 drive usually doesn't cut it. Sometimes older computers with the older video cards won't cut it either. So I'm going to show you how to get around that. First of all, if you got the older computer, this is what you're going to be doing. Right now, I got my music video footage in here, and within the music video folder, I have 5 different streams of a music video of a performance that was done, and we had 5 different cameras going at once. Then what I've got here is a folder with these same files, exact same names, but compressed files. You'll notice that the size of these files here, notice this first one here is like over 2 gig, and then up here the exact same file is less than 200 megabytes, so that's really, really small compared to this file here. An older computer will be able to handle all these streams at once, where a new computer, or where that computer might not be able to handle all this data at once. So what you're going to do to compress, just really quick, is what you'll end up doing is you'll end up editing with these files, and then when you're done editing, reconnect them to the high quality files. So it's not losing quality, you're attaching your media at the end to the original full quality footage. This is called offline editing. I'm going to go to Media Encoder. Under Media Encoder, I'm going to drag all my movies in here. I'm going to grab all my full quality movies, drag them, drop them in. And I've already got an offline preset here, but I'm going to show you how to create a preset. YouTube is a good preset here to use, because you want to keep your, a few things you want to keep the same. You want to keep your frame rate, you want to keep your resolution, and you want to keep your pixel aspect ratio the exact same to not have to cause any sequence changes within Premiere. So I'm going to grab this clip, I'm going to grab this YouTube setting, drag it onto one of my clips here, and I'm going to click on that. I'm going to do some changes here. I'm going to do some custom changes. I'm going to go over here and keep a lot of this stuff the same. You want to keep the frame rate, the resolution, and the pixel aspect ratio the same as the original video. And this is 1920 by 1080 DSLR footage. I'm going to go down here to target bitrate and look at your new size file. Already it's going to be about 1/4 the size, but I'm going to take that down even more to you can try this if you want and see what you get. But I'm going to take this down to 5 on the target bit rate, and notice it goes down to under 200 megabytes, which is great. So now that I've finished that there, I'm going to save that as a preset. I'm going to click on Save Preset. I'm going to name it. I've already named one under Offline, so I'll just type in Offline, hit OK, and once I hit OK, you'll go up to your presets, and there it is right there. So now all I have to do is grab this and drag it to each one of your videos, and I've already got it on these as a preset. So you're going to drag it onto each one of these videos. Then you can highlight everything, do Control A or Apple A, click on the output placement, and then you'll choose your compressed folder, hit choose, and then you just hit play, and it will compress all these down to that MP, and you'll notice it's putting each one of those in that compressed folder, and it will compress every one of those into that folder. And then you end up with a full quality folder and a compressed folder. Okay, I'm going to make a new project. I'm going to import my footage. I'm going to grab the compressed footage and drag them into my folder. Now, if you, like I said, if you have a computer that's fast enough, and you have even like solid state drives or USB 3 drive, and you're doing DSLR footage, you should be able to stream all of them at once. But like I said, if it starts to slow down and starts to chug when you do this, do the compressed. Do the offline editing, the method that I'm showing you. So I'm going to grab one of these and create a timeline. I'm going to grab that timeline, drag it out of my folder, and rename this Music Video Edit. Now I'm going to delete that clip out of there, and I've got my timeline all set up. Okay. Now what you're going to do is you're going to have some sort of sync marker to line these all up, to time them all up so they're in sync. When we shot this music video, we had sound rolling from the DSLR cameras. We also had a sound recording being mixed here with all the microphones. But what you're going to do, this is all from the same take. We shot this like 4 different times. On the 4th take, we got it right. So if you look closely here, this is the 4th take. But I'm going to get this right there, right where this light hits. And instead of putting an in point, I'm going to put a mark, because you might want a little bit of back timing if you find an in point to put your sync marker on. So I'm going to hit M instead of I. M will put a mark right there. We're going to line these up by markers, so we're not messing with endpoints or setting endpoints. And I'm going to do that to every single one of these. I'm going to set every single one of these clips, set the marker for every single one of these clips. Right there, marker. So I'm going to hit a marker on every single one of these clips, and then I'll come back when I've got each one of these done. So marker on each one of those slides. Now when I've got each one of those marked, we've got a marker on each one of these. It's pretty simple from there. I'm going to highlight all these clips, I'm going to right click on them, on all of them, and hit create multicam source sequence. Now it'll bring up this little menu and ask you, what do you want to do here? It's saying, do you want to line up all these, do you want to synchronize all these clips by endpoints? I didn't set endpoints, because if you want back timing, if you sync it somewhere in the middle, you'll want to be able to back time it. So this is where this marker comes in handy. So I'm going to do clip marker. So I'm going to do the unnamed marker, number 1, that I have on every clip. Make sure that you only have one marker on all these clips, that all the markers have been cleared except for that one. Will add less confusion. So clip marker. It's going to ask some other questions here. By the way, you can do it by endpoint, or if you have out points, you can sync by timecode if you have a timecode jam that goes into all the cameras, which is really simple if you have a timecode jammed into all the cameras. And you can do it by audio as well. You can do it by audio waveforms, which is kind of cool. It usually does a pretty good job. It'll try to match the waveforms on all the clips. And as long as the waveforms are pretty close, it'll do a pretty good job. And if you don't have a sync marker, this is helpful as long as you have audio. It's going to set a preset for the sequence if you put it into a sequence. And a few other things here. It'll move the clips. If you have this check mark, it'll move all the clips into what's called the process bins, or clips bin. But it's going to use the audio from camera 1 for the first channel, and it'll number the cameras for you as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So anyway, you can use the track names, clip names. You mess with these if you want to. All the presets on this work pretty well. So I'm just going to hit OK, and it puts all those process clips into its own folder. And here is your multicam clip right here. I'm going to grab this clip. I'm going to drag it over into my timeline, and we've got this clip all timed up. If you double click on this, you'll notice it has all the 5 cameras in here. It doesn't have all of them right now because they all started recording at different times. So as you play into this, you'll see them all pop up. There's all 5 cameras, and if we play, everything is playing in sync, and they're playing 5 different cameras at the same time. Okay, but now once it's in the timeline here, I've dragged it in the timeline. I got one more thing I need to do. I need to bring in the good music. We recorded a good music soundtrack for this professional recording. I'm going to import that. I'm going to find that point where the slate hits in my timeline, right there. I'm going to grab my good music, and I'm going to find that same point, which is probably right there. Yep, there it is. So I'm going to get that same little clap right there, put an endpoint, drop it into my timeline. I can actually get rid of this audio here. I did an Alt drag or an Option drag over that to deselect it from the video, delete, and period to drop my audio down into the timeline. So now I've got the good audio matched up with the video. So I've got a good audio mix there with the music video now. Okay, so I'm going to get this at the very beginning, right when the clip starts, right there before she starts on the guitar. Do a cut, Apple K, and then Option backspace or delete. And now I've got the music video right where it starts. Now I'm going to start multicamming. I'm going to click on this little arrow, drop down up here, top right hand corner, and I'm going to tell this to show, instead of composite video, which it's showing here in the program monitor, I'm going to tell it to show multi-camera. I'll bring up two windows. I'm going to actually resize this so we can really see what we're doing. Pull this over here. Pull this down a teeny bit. And we've got a much larger window there. Viewing our multicam. What this does is it shows our program here on the right, and it shows all the multi-clips, or all the clips from this multi-clip down here. This multi-clip contains all 5 of these streams here. And then this is the angle that it has chosen to play out of all those 5 streams right here. And you can see which one is being played by this highlight right there, that yellow highlight. Now while we're paused, if we decide to change this entire angle here, all you do is simply, while it's paused, click on one of these windows here, and it will change. You can click on any one of these here, and it will change it to that stream. So now we can start editing. And while you're playing, if you start hitting buttons, if you start hitting these windows, it's going to change those angles live. I'm going to start out on this close-up on the guitar here. I'm going to play. Now while we're playing, I'm going to cut to a wide shot or a medium shot there, and then to the wide shot. So I'm clicking on these windows as we're playing. And I'm going to cut to the singer here as she starts to sing. And there we go. Now when I press stop here and pause, notice it has kept all those cuts that I performed live. This is like editing a live show here. It's like a technical director or director in a broadcast room directing a show live. So these cuts now, if you play back your timeline, it's retained all these cuts. Now if I do undo, keep in mind the undo once will undo a play and pause as if it's one move. So watch this. Apple Z, Command Z, it'll undo all those moves. I'm going to redo that because I like the cuts that it did there. But it'll memorize those as one move. Now if you need to change some things here, once you've done that, let me do one other little edit here. A couple more edits here. Oops, bad cut there. But that's okay. So I did a bad cut there. So let's show you how to fix some things. So now if I do undo, I've done 2 different moves here. So it'll go undo, it'll do that last set of moves and then the previous. So I'm going to redo those. Now if you need to fix a couple of shots, there's a couple ways to fix things here. First of all, we got this shot here that I didn't want of the weird drum here. What you can do is you can get your playhead right over the clip, and you can simply come up here and choose the shot that you want. While it's over that clip, notice it's got the drum selected there. If I say, no, I actually want this one right here, click on it, and it just changed the angle back to this drum angle there. So now that's been fixed. And also you can trim while you're in here too. So now this is like regular editing. So say you want to cut to this face. Say we want to cut to her a little bit sooner there. Now you can just perform a regular roll edit. You can hit N here, which is your roll edit. You can grab this clip here and move it back and forth and perform a regular roll edit. Make it happen, let's say a little bit later, right there. So we made that. Now she starts singing just a few frames later here. It cuts to her a little bit sooner, right before she starts singing. But there's a little camera jiggle, so we want to move it over till you get rid of that camera jiggle. Right there, so yeah, I'm going to move it over right there. There we go. So yeah, now you can do regular trimming. If there's a clip that you just don't like at all, say we want to get rid of this shot in between, like right, I don't know. Say we want to get rid of this shot right there. So I'm just going to actually select that shot, delete, and trim this video over to the right, and we got rid of it. So now it's just regular editing. Okay, when you're finished editing here, and you got your whole timeline done. I don't have the whole timeline done, but let's pretend like I've got this whole timeline done. There, it's done. What I'm going to do is you can flatten this. I'm going to highlight everything. I'm going to right click, go to multi-camera, and I'm going to flatten this. And what the flatten is going to do what Flatten's going to do is it's going to get rid of the multi-clip, and it'll help your computer kind of run faster as well. So I'm going to right click on this, and we're going to flatten, and this will turn to blue, and it's no longer in a movie clip, but we can still go in and edit if we need to. I'm going to turn this back to my composite window, and I'm going to put my workspace, or set my workspace back to regular editing. So a couple things I'm going to do is, first I'm going to reconnect my video files to the high quality video files. So I'm going to highlight all my process clips here. I'm going to right click, and I'm going to make these offline. So what offline will do is detach them from the files that they were originally attached to. And you say media remains on disk. You want to keep a hold of those. You can delete them if you want to, but I wouldn't recommend it. Now you're just going to have to go through on each one of these here and link your media. And since these aren't the exact same name, actually you could tell it to forget file extension here. I'm going to locate, and we're going to go to my full quality here, and I'm going to go to the same number and relink that, and you'll do that to each one of these here. If you've got these the exact same name, they'll all relink to the same folder. But if they don't, they'll automatically find the earlier files that they were originally attached to. So we're going to link media, find that one, and let me relink all these, and we'll come back. Okay, now I've got these all relinked to the original media, so it's high quality. This is playing back the high quality video files, no longer compressed. And if you want them to relink everything else altogether automatically, these all have to be the exact same extension too. It says you can just forget the file extension, but Premiere still has some issues with relinking. It's no big deal if it's something like this, because if you're doing a huge project like a feature film, it's like that's incredibly important. But if you're doing something like this, a music video with like 5 streams, it's pretty quick and easy just to relink each one of these manually. Anyway, so there we go. We got these all relinked. Last step I want to show here is something that they've included in 2014 is being able to color correct a master clip. So you just have to go through and correct every single one of these, and make sure that you flatten these before you do the color correction from the multi-clip, because then when you flatten them, it gets, and I think it still does it in 2014 updates, I think, it'll get rid of all the color correction you've done on the multi-clips once you flatten them. So flatten them, then do the color correction. Okay, but as we play through this, I can see some kind of variations in the lighting here and the saturation. But there's one in particular here that I notice right here. This is a little bit darker than the regular video, and it cuts to this shot, and then later on down the line, it cuts to it again. Instead of correcting this and coming back and having to correct this individual clip later on, what you can do is you can access the master clip, and it will color correct all those clips. All this, see 2633, 2633, it'll correct all those clips. So I'm going to select this first one here. Actually, I'm going to right click on it and say reveal in project. Reveal in project. It'll show the clip over here in the project. You double click on it, and it will load it into the window here. I'm going to skim along until I find that shot here, right there. And now I can add a color corrector here. I'm just going to add fast color corrector, or like levels or something like that. I'm going to grab the fast color corrector, drag it up to the source window. This is the master clip right here, as opposed to the clip that's in the timeline. Now, as you edit the master clip, it's going to affect all the clips in your timeline. So I'm going to go to Effect Controls here and watch what happens. I've got my playhead over the clip and timeline, and this is the master clip here in my project window. As you correct this, you'll notice it changes, it updates the clip in the timeline. And if you move down to the other one, it's going to update that one as well. It'll update all those clips that belong to this master clip. So I'm going to go back to this, go back to my effects controls, undo that, and I'm just going to do a little bit of levels adjustment. Just get a little bit brighter so it matches these other clips. Now it matches those other clips there. It's about the same brightness. So that's how you edit a master clip there, and it will change every single clip in the timeline here. Each one of these will have that brightness level now when it cuts to it. So there you go. And maybe one other thing here. I mean, you would want to go through and correct every clip and make sure that every clip matches each clip. But I'm going to do a quick adjustment layer. You can correct each individual clip, but I'm going to do an adjustment layer, drop it on the top, And I'm going to pull out the saturation out of all these clips. It's a little oversaturated, so I'm going to go to Fast Color Corrector, drop it on my adjustment layer, and this will affect everything below it. And I'm going to grab my saturation, drag my saturation down a little bit. There we go. I'm going to grab curves, drop my luma curve, drop a luma curve on there, and this will give kind of a little bit of contrast, do a little bit of an S curve to the whole thing. And there we go. Our music video is done, except for you'd have to just go through on each clip now and add a color corrector to it and kind of adjust every single clip to get them to match. So there you go. There's the multicam, really cool feature in Premiere Pro, and you can do multiple streams. And if you, like I said, if you're having trouble and it's lagging and bogging down because there's too many streams playing, do the compression technique. You might not always need to do that, but that's a helpful technique to speed things up and be able to do the multicam and then relink it to the original high quality footage. So good luck, especially if you're using red footage. That's really the way to go. So good luck.